Private Internet Access, or PIA, has always been the cheap but surprisingly capable VPN. But in 2026, cheap isn't the flex. Every VPN claims no logs and military-grade encryption, and most people have no idea what actually protects them. So here's the real question: is PIA still a smart pick for privacy and security today, or is it riding a reputation it earned years ago? Well, let's find out. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Safety Detectives, and today we're reviewing Private Internet Access, or PIA, in 2026. PIA is a US-based VPN, and that alone raises real questions about logging, data access, and how much control users actually have. We've covered PIA in the past, so this isn't a surface-level walkthrough. This time we focused on how those concerns actually play out in real-world use. We tested it on public Wi-Fi, during long sessions, while switching servers, and with leak protection checks, because that's where privacy claims either hold up or don't. So by the end of this video, you'll know who PIA is actually good for in 2026 and who should maybe skip it. All right, let's get into it. Security and privacy basics, what PIA gets right, and what to check. Let's start with what you actually get when you install PIA. Security basics are solid. You've got AES 256-bit encryption, and you can use WireGuard or OpenVPN. WireGuard is the default on most platforms now, and that's what we used in our testing. The setting that matters the most is the kill switch. PIA gives you a standard kill switch and an advanced one as well. Turn on the advanced option and it'll block all internet traffic unless the VPN is connected. So if your Wi-Fi drops, your laptop goes to sleep, or your network switches, your real traffic does not slip out during reconnects. Leak protection is also built in for DNS, IPv6, and WebRTC, and on desktop, it held up really well in our testing. Just don't skip the setup. PIA is one of those VPNs where 2 minutes in settings changes the outcome. Okay, now for privacy. Yes, PIA is US-based, so people always ask about logging, which is totally fair. The reason PIA is still brought up in serious conversation is its track record. It publishes transparency reports regularly, it's been independently audited, and its no logs claims have been tested in the real world time and time again. And here are the PIA identity features we covered last year that still matter in 2026. PIA runs RAM-only servers, so servers are designed to wipe data on reboot. The apps are also open source, so the code can be inspected. And Mace blocks ads, trackers, known malicious domains at network level, not just inside your browser. So the short version is this: PIA's protection is legit, but only if you turn on the advanced kill switch and actually use the privacy tools it gives you. And hey, if you're liking this review so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get more Safety Detectives videos in the future. Speed and stability, how PIA holds up in daily use. All right, time to talk about speed, but not the screenshot kind. PIA isn't the VPN that you buy to win a speed test. What it does better is staying consistent when you're actually using it. On nearby servers, speeds were solid. Browsing felt normal, video calls held up, and streaming didn't stutter once playback started. Again, WireGuard is the default now, and that definitely helps keep things smooth. Long distance connections are more of a mixed bag. Some locations held up well, others slowed down a bit, which is not unusable, but still noticeable. If you're gaming or moving large files across continents, then you'll feel it more than with top-tier performance-focused VPNs. Where PIA earns points in stability. Connections stayed up during long sessions, sleep mode, and network changes, and when a drop did happen, reconnects were quick, especially if the advanced kill switch was enabled, which keeps traffic locked down during those transitions. PIA has also been updating its infrastructure behind the scenes, and it's not something you interact with directly, but the result is fewer overloaded servers and more dependable performance during peak hours. So while PIA isn't the fastest VPN on the market, it's reliable, and for most everyday use cases, that matters more than peak numbers. Streaming, torrenting, and P2P, where PIA is most reliable. This is where PIA tends to perform really well because both streaming and downloads benefit from the same thing: stable connections and enough server options to switch when you need to. For streaming, the experience in 2026 is generally smooth. Connections stay stable, streams start quickly, and once playback begins, quality holds up without random drops. And if a service is being picky, the fix is usually simple: just switch servers and try again. And this is where PIA's server coverage comes in really handy. We mentioned this in last year's review, and it still matters now. Private internet access brings a vast selection of server options covering 91 countries and over 140 locations worldwide. This includes servers across all 50 US states, so you find a reliable, uncongested connection, never running into the same overloaded servers. Torrenting is even more straightforward. P2P traffic is allowed on all servers, so there is no special mode and no guessing game. You connect and download. If you want more control, PIA does support port forwarding on supported platforms. It is optional, easy to enable, and it can help with peer connections and download consistency. And this is also where the advanced kill switch earns its keep. If your network switches or the VPN drops mid-download, your real IP stays protected. So for streaming plus P2P, PIA is pretty dependable. It's not perfect, but it is consistent, and that is what most people actually need. Apps and usability, practical, not flashy. PIA's apps are in a pretty good place right now. If you watched our last review, you'll remember the redesign work that PIA did across platforms. And that's still the experience today, and it shows. The apps feel cleaner, more stable, and easier to use without hunting through endless menus. On desktop, the basics are also straightforward. Connect, pick a location, and you can see your status instantly. The important settings are easy to find too, which matters because PIA has features that only help if you actually turn them on. You also get practical controls like split tunneling on supported platforms, including macOS, so you can protect your browser while leaving other apps on your normal connection. On mobile, it feels quick and reliable. Server switching is smooth, and the app holds up in the background during longer sessions. On TVs, including Apple TV, the app is a bit more basic. It works for location switching, but you don't get the same security controls as the desktop. Overall, PIA's apps are not fancy, but they are pretty solid and reliable. They do what they need to do in the background and otherwise stay out of your way. Server network and infrastructure. Scale that actually helps. PIA has always leaned on its server network as a major advantage, and this still matters in 2026 for one simple reason. More server choices usually means less congestion and fewer bad connections. And in real-world use, that shows up as smoother server switching and fewer overloaded locations during peak hours. And if you're connecting in the US, PIA's coverage across all 50 states makes it easier to find a clean, uncongested server option that's close to you. Now, one update worth calling out since our last review is that PIA has been rolling out a newer generation of infrastructure. You'll see it referenced as their NextGen network in some locations. The point is not the label, the point is that they've been pushing more controlled hardware and higher capacity links, which is exactly the direction you want a VPN to move in. So the takeaway is simple. PIA's network still gives you flexibility, and the infrastructure upgrades make the experience feel more consistent than it used to be. Pricing and value, where PIA still makes sense. PIA is still priced like a value VPN, and that's a big part of why people continue to come back to it. The long-term plans are usually where it makes the most sense, and the unlimited device policy helps out a lot as well. You can cover your phone, laptop, and everything else without doing plan gymnastics. There are some optional extras like a dedicated IP, for example, but you don't need them to get a complete VPN. The core protections and features are already included. So if you want a VPN that covers a lot of devices without costing you a small fortune, then PIA still lands in the high value category in 2026. Should you use PIA in 2026? PIA isn't trying to reinvent the VPN category, and that's actually its biggest strength. In 2026, it delivers solid security fundamentals, a proven no logs track record, reliable performance, and one of the most flexible device policies out there. No, it's not perfect. Streaming can take a bit of trial and error, long distance speeds won't top every chart, and some protections depend on you enabling the right settings. But if you want a VPN that's configurable, transparent, and dependable, especially for torrenting and multi-device use, then PIA still holds its ground. If you want something ultra polished and hands-off, then there may be better options out there, but for users who value control and long-term consistency, PIA remains a solid choice. And if you want to try it for yourself, we've linked to the latest deals down in the description, so be sure to check those out. But that's all for this review. Thank you so much for watching, Safety Detectives, and stay safe online.